By the end of this video, you will understand what I believe to be the 3 most important stages in creating your first $5,000 of online income. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Joshua Whitlock. I own Online Income System, which is a template for building a winning online business so you can start to live a lifestyle of choice rather than conformity. So without further ado, let's get into step number 1, which is you need to create an offer to sell to other people. Now, this can be a product or a service, basically just anything that you can give to someone in exchange for some money. Now, I'm not here to tell you exactly what to offer and what to sell because there are endless things you can offer and sell to people. Because the fact is, what you offer and what you sell is far less important than that you offer and that you sell. Okay, don't overlook the basics. Simple scales, fancy fails. Now, you can either create your own offer and sell your own offer, or you can actually skip ahead and just start selling someone else's offer. So, pros and cons of creating your own offer. So, pros, you get more control over what happens, how you do it, what's inside, how you sell it, all of that kind of thing. And you actually get to keep more money because if it's yours and you own it, you get to keep the majority of the revenue, depending on how big your offer is. If you have other people to help you create and sell, regardless, you get to keep the majority of the income. Cons of creating your own offer. It takes time, and it's really difficult to create an offer or build something that is actually really desired by people. So many people go into business trying to create this new thing and reinvent the wheel, and so many fail because it is hard to do because there's so many people trying to do the same thing. So it's really hard. You have to be really unique and be able to create this irresistible offer. So it takes a lot of time, stress, and effort. And so pros and cons of offering someone else's product or selling someone else's offer are basically the opposite. So you get no control over what the product is, and you get a much smaller percentage of the revenue because you're just selling. So you're likely going to get commission. You might have a different setup with the person you're working with, but you keep less overall money. However, it's a lot easier. You can just start selling straight away. You don't actually have to take more risk and time and experience more things in actually going and building the product, creating the offer, and doing all of those other things. You actually just flip them. So it's whatever you're prepared to do right now. If you want to play the long game, then it's probably best to just start creating your own offer. If not, and you want to get into this really quickly, then you can just start offering and selling someone else's stuff, which is exactly what I did. I started offering and selling other people's coaching businesses, coaching offers. And it was really easy for me because I was well versed in the stuff I was selling. I was interested in it. I actually used the product. So it was really easy for me to connect with the people I was selling to, which we'll cover on step 3. But before we do that, we need to go to step 2, which is finding people to sell it to. And we do this through advertising. Now, advertising lets us have a really shitty product and still make money. It lets us be really terrible at sales and still make money. And it lets you make a ton of mistakes and still make money. So in short, it gives you endless opportunities to get things right because it's just volume. So the more people you can bring in who can try your product, say no, give feedback, positive or negative, the more you can actually refine things and adjust and make improvements. So after a long time of trial and error, feedback, refunds, money, success, you're gonna have a much better product and more experience, all through advertising. Now, the pros of online advertising and marketing is you can actually reach far more people online than in person. So in person, it's flyers, it's door-to-door sales. So you are physically limited by what you can do and where you can go and the speed in which you can get there. Whereas online, you can reach the whole planet. But the only thing is, you have 2 options in which you pay for this advertising. So, and these are the pros and cons. And again, you can choose what these are depending on your current scenario. So the way you pay for these things is either time or money. Now, if you're just starting out, you probably don't have much money, so you have to pay with time. Vice versa, if you have excess cash lying around, you can put money into advertisements, marketing, all of that kind of thing. However, if you're looking to make your first 5K of online income, I presume you don't have much money to put into this stuff. So you have to invest time. Only other option. If you find another way, please let me know, because then all of this would have been so much easier to do. Now, the types of people you are going to find with this advertising are people you know, people you don't know, cold audiences, warm audiences, in person, online. And step number 3, final step, is sales. So this is where you sell it to those people. So you need to create an offer to sell, you need to find people to sell it to, and then you need to sell it to them. So if you really want to be complete with this and have total control and have more guaranteed long-term success, you really can't miss any of these out. It's not enough to have an irresistible offer and a great ad strategy because those get you leads, but now what? You need to sell. Now, this is the part most business people and most people in general say they hate. But to give your clients the best service you can and to make not only enough money to keep your business open, thriving, you need to learn how to sell. The general pros of sales are it has the most leverage. So the most important people in a business are salespeople, because they are the ones that actually bring the money in. So if you are doing what I did at the beginning, where I skipped these and I just sold someone else's product, I became really important because I was the only person bringing money in. So if I left, the whole business shuts down. But just because it's one of the most important parts doesn't mean you're automatically safe, because you need to be good at it. Brings the cons, which is it's very stressful, it's uncomfortable, and most people aren't kind of comfortable in those selling environments asking people for money, because for most people, money is such a taboo subject. It's filled and surrounded by fear, uncertainty, doubt of being scammed and not wanting to lose your money and being embarrassed and making the wrong decision. So it's this real taboo thing. When I first got into it, I didn't actually want to get into it. I thought it was sleazy. I thought it was below me. I didn't really want to do it because of this perception around this. However, that is actually the advantage, because most people's perception of sales, and most salesmen aren't very good, it actually gives you a real opportunity to stand out if you are good. So I actually flip the current perception and the general perception around sales and the reputation it has, and actually use it to my advantage. Because if you get really good, you can make a lot of money. And if you get really good at sales, it can make up for a really shitty product. And without doing a deep dive into sales, the general gist of it is nothing stimulates a buying decision as fast as trust. So the way you build trust is by having an irresistible offer, and your offer is basically how you show your prospects, your leads, how well you know them and how well you understand them. Because people will buy from others who they trust. You're 10 times more likely to buy from someone you trust and relate to. And your offer is your expression of how well you understand your audience. However, no matter how good your product is, there probably is still going to be a little bit of doubt and uncertainty around whether some people want to work with you. Some people are just very skeptical, but this is where a lot more money is lying for you to make. And so generally, you've got one side who does believe. So this is you who does believe. You got one person who doesn't believe. So there's all this conviction here and there's some doubt here. So you need to be able to transfer your conviction so it can overcome their doubt. And it's trust that completes that transfer. And while you can make up for a lack in one with an advancement in the other stages, if you really want to be complete and really maximize the amount of money you can make, you really need to dial in and get really sufficient on each of those 3 stages. However, having a high quality product will actually help you make up for a lower sales ability and selling skill at the beginning, because the likelihood is you're not going to be very good at this. So you need a really quality offer to make up for that skill imbalance. Then you also need to be really good at generating quality leads, because what you don't want to be doing is offering me makeup, or someone who's interested in makeup, a strength training or powerlifting program. It's not going to work. It's not going to connect. So no matter how good that makeup might be, I'm not interested. No matter how great this powerlifting program is, someone who's a makeup influencer isn't going to want that. So having a really quality ad strategy and being able to market this through content or leaflets, however you want to offer it or market it, it will save so much of your time, efforts, resources, and energy by getting really good at finding quality leads. And then if you have these 2 narrowed down and in place and really strong, then the selling just becomes 10 times easier. Now, I personally believe sales is the most important, and having a strong sales ability can make up for these deficiencies. And that's the way I started with my online income entrepreneurial journey. I actually skipped 1 and 2 and started selling someone else's product straight away, because I didn't have to create the offer. I didn't have to find them. I didn't have to build a brand and advertise and do all of these things. I just sold, and that's it. So it allowed me to concentrate all of my focus, all of my time, all of my energy on building this one skill. Another bonus is once I've sold, I don't have to actually fulfill on what I've sold. That's still done by the product, by the owner and the rest of the team. So all I focus on is getting that person over the line and actually transferring that trust and transferring that conviction. And as soon as they sold, I could just get back to selling again. I didn't need to fulfill on that. I didn't need to then stop my learning and being in that sales environment. I could just stay in it more and more and more. Another thing with actually focusing on the selling is I still get to see the process of this. I still get to understand about the offer, about the audience, and I still get to pick up things along the way. So despite me predominantly being in the selling environment and being the salesman, I still get to understand, how does the offer work? How can I make the offer sound more enticing without actually changing it? So it changes my ability to speak and how I can actually make this offer seem a lot more valuable without actually changing anything in itself. And I get get to understand, cool, what kind of people are we bringing in? Does our ad strategy actually work well? Is it really quality? And that makes my selling even easier. So I actually get to pick up on all of these things by being in this environment. So you can actually skip 1 and 2 by going straight into sell. However, if you really want to have full control over this and your income and how it works and have it done your way, then you really need to create your own offer, create your own product, create your own service, find the right people who are interested in it, find engaged leads, and then sell it to them. And again, the reason it's not specific and I'm not telling you exactly what to offer and what to sell and who to sell it to is because there's so many ways you can do this. There's so many products and services you can offer. There's so many people to sell it to, and there's so many ways to sell it. I don't care how you do the stages, I care that you do the stages. Then we can get more specific as time goes on and you dive further into this. But the basis of this is you need to create an offer, find someone to sell it to, and then sell it to them. I feel like far too many people get stuck on the specifics, whether it's drop shipping, SMMA, e-commerce, Shopify, all of these things. I don't care what it is. I just care that you do it. And so that is what I believe to be the 3 most important stages in generating your first $5,000 of online income. If you agree, if you disagree, if you want to challenge me, if you want to ask questions, leave a comment below and I look forward to hearing from you.